Welcome to the REKAP Lunch Hour with Guff. Me, Ryan McGuffey, here in the REKAP studios. What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday on this edition of the REKAP Lunch Hour, brought to you by Hooters, originalhooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you. Order.hooters.com, straight to your door, straight to your office. Or you can go straight to Hooters and pick it up yourself if you'd like. Maybe get a Big Daddy mug. Kickstart the second half of your day doing it that way. All right, so Cubs didn't play last night. Everyone got a chance to catch their breath. I think everyone's still mad. The chat's full. Cubs are at the first place Toronto Blue Jays. And I said to everybody, I put on social, is it going to get worse before it gets better for the Cubs? Well, I guess it depends on what we think worse is, right? It definitely depends on what we think worse is for the Chicago Cubs. I'll go back just so we're all on the same page, do the playoff odds. I can give them to you from different websites if you'd like. But right now, the Cubs have the fourth best odds. I'll use Baseball Reference. It's the first time I've seen them not 99% chance. It's 98.8 to make the postseason, 92.2 to win the wild card. They are down to 6.6% to win the division, 6.1% to have a bye, and 14.4% to win the pennant. Winning the World Series now there are 6 teams ahead of the Cubs: the Brewers, the Phillies, the Astros, the Tigers, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, the Mariners right on their heels, and then the Blue Jays, who they play this week, are right behind them. I got the Texas Rangers as my long shot. And where are they? Way up the tracks. The Rangers, where are the Texas Rangers? Oh, there they are. A couple slots down, 1.7%. I got a futures on them. So is it going to get worse before it gets better? Let's get to the chat. Eric's ready. He's always ready. Hey, Guff, looking forward to the Bears' second preseason game. I expect the starters on both sides to play at least the first half. Caleb needs to get reps, especially with Ben Johnson's offense. Yeah, in the description I said, how much do you need to see from Caleb? I need to see a pretty significant. I need to see at least a first quarter of football this Sunday. And I think the first half of football, maybe in the last preseason game. Maybe they'll just give all of Caleb this week, and we'll get very small doses of him in the other. I'd be fine with that too, but I need to see like a half of football from Caleb Williams. Matt, good afternoon. Guff, love your show. I've heard something recently about an injury to Cole Kmet. Do you know of any updates? Thank you, Matt. Welcome to the chat, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, Cole Kmet left practice early last week, but he did come back. Sure, not that day, but he did come back late last week and practiced. So he did not play in the game on Sunday, as did most of the starters. From all accounts, Cole Kmet should be good to go and back in action. Hopefully he's playing this week. Eric, hello to all the REKAP folks on the channel. Godfather, Phil, Sims, Bicky, Lip Ripper, Breck Bear. Hope you're all doing well. I love whenever we all shout out each other. It's awesome. The real Phil Sims. The Savannah Bananas will be here this weekend. Might be the best baseball played this weekend, just saying. I wish that was a joke, but I'm not sure it is. Yeah, the Bananas will invade Rate Field. And are you going? That place is going to be pumping. It's going to be packed. There are going to be people in seats that haven't been sat in for a while. That's not a shot. It's just true. That place, I mean, getting these tickets, folks, it's like the hottest ticket in town in a long time. I've had people ask me about Bananas tickets for 2 months. Dude, what's up, Swayze? I have a theory that the Cubs never intended to re-sign Tucker because they want to win with their prospects and, save money. Well, you know what? Then it'll be 2032. We'll be sitting here talking about 2032 a lot more. You better hope you're right. You better hope you can develop them. Because a lot of the times, we've seen it in this town, very few times you're going to have a 2016 situation where all those guys came up and produced right away. It's funny that they all kind of went like this in the years after, but that's a one-off. It is. They use these current guys to remain competitive while never intending to win. They played all of us to save a buck, and it's pathetic. And then to our natural transition to our guy, the Godfather. Next 3 days, Ricketts and Hoyer get to show Canada how not to build a team, show them what a cheap-ass owner looks like. Godfather's the best. He's always ready to go. Phil, as Jesse said on Sunday, to me, the Dodgers and Phillies would be better favorites heading into October. 1,000%. And that's why right now the Phillies are the second favorite to win the World Series. The Dodgers have now jumped the Cubs again. They don't show up versus Toronto, it get real ugly fast. That's why I said, and of course the Brewers are never going to lose again. The Brewers play Paul Skeens, and the Paul Skeens will try to do something no one's been able to do in almost 2 weeks. That's beat the Brewers. I might be alluding to a bet later in the show if anybody's got the cojones to go where I'm going today. Once again, Jet and the crew think they're smarter than us fans, and I find it insulting. They've sabotaged a great chance this year to look right, but what if the prospects bomb? Food for thought. What if most of the time, half of them bomb, minimum? Jay, what a glorious Monday it was of pain, anxiety, and disappointment free. T-minus 6 hours till that ends. Jay gave the liver a break on Monday. That's okay. It's good to do that. Even if they make the wild card, they may get swept. If the main goal is winning, who gives a damn about 2032? You had a chance right now and sacrifice it to bet on unsure things. Just plain dumb. Amen. By the way, why are people so upset about Caleb on Sunday? Ben Johnson has a plan and people need to get over it. You know why? I'm telling you. People have problems with Caleb Williams. By the way, who gives a damn about a preseason game? If you told me he didn't take a snap in preseason, would I like it? Not really. Would I care? No. You want to judge Caleb Williams? Let's see what happens at the end of this year. He had a better year than a lot of people think, and I'll die on that hill. You don't like the way he looks or his fashion, it paints his nails, then you know what? Look in the mirror. I'll say that. All the quarterbacks are flashy. Look at Joe Burrow. Love that series. Love the quarterback series. I love Joe Burrow even more. Godfather, Phillies, Mets, Padres, Dodgers, Jays have owners that will go the extra mile when they need to. We have penny pinching rickets. Jay, hey guys, imagine how much more money the owner makes in Canada. Tom must be drooling. I think pitching-wise, the Cubs will stay in it, but with the frigid bats and lethargic attitudes, they'll lose 2 out of 3, which is now commonplace for them. They've lost 2 out of 3 4 of the last 6 series. I saw a tweet here talking about the pitching from the Wrigley Wire. This is the Cubs starting rotation since July 1, so it's a month and a half. First in ERA, first in WHIP, first in opponent's batting average, 5th in walk percentage, 6th in homers per 9. The staff's doing their job. The starting staff has actually been better than you could have asked for. But the offense has been so freaking bad. So bad. I'm looking at it right. I'll pull up how bad it's been since July 1st. I'll say fewest runs scored since July 1st. Because the Cubs, it's in bunches. That's July 30. I don't want July 31st. I want July 1st. The Cardinals have scored the fewest. The Cubs have scored the 10th fewest runs in Major League Baseball since July 1st. Here are the teams that have scored fewer runs than the Cubs. The Cardinals, the Pirates, the Rays, the Nationals, the Giants, the Dodgers, the Twins, Rockies, and Mets. 2 teams in there are good. The Dodgers and Mets. And that's it. You go all the way down to the bottom of that list, the White Sox have scored the 6th most. So to Swayze's point, the Dead not looking forward to this series against the Blue Jays. Also the 5-gamer coming against the Brewers. Drop that knowledge, Godfather. The Dead players can't be making that much more just because of taxes and such conversion rates. Yeah, it's all about. So the way salaries work, players get taxed in every state they play in. So if you play in Milwaukee, if you play 6 games in Milwaukee, when you file your taxes as a Major League Baseball player, 6 of your game checks came from Wisconsin. You play the Astros for 3. I'm not kidding. They have to file state taxes in all of those states. That's a true story. Same with the Dodgers. There are 5 or more people that have stake in that team. I just want to see them try and win more than 2 games between the 8 against Toronto and Milwaukee. What a stretch here for the Cubs. I mean, their throat could be stepped on by the end of this. I also do not understand why Ballesteros or Casey have not been called up. I get it. Wait until September. Ballesteros at least has hit Major League Baseball pitching and took solid at-bats in Milwaukee. Yeah, I don't get it either, unless you're trying to do save status, which is insane at this point, especially when you have a team that looks broken offensively. Jay, 100,000 in the U.S. is 138,000 in Canada. Look at us doing conversion rates in the countries. The Dead and Becky saying hello. I was wondering the conversion rates for players over there. But they do get, depending on taxes, like Florida, there's no state, like the income tax, all that stuff. It does matter depending on where the game was played. Also, have the Brewers made a deal with the devil or something? These mofos just won't lose, and it's kind of odd. It's unreal. They're 24-4 since Andrew Vaughn trade. That's insane. 6.5 games back, the Brewers will sweep the Pirates. Big matchup tonight, but Peralta is really good. And he's going toe-to-toe with Paulie Skeens. I think they're drinking children's blood over there. Jesus. They are also eating pancakes out of their uniform pockets, which I also do not understand. Baseball players, they're together a lot. They do weird things. Whatever it works, they go. I think Skeens is supposed to pitch. He is. The Dead. I mean, it's safe to say the division is done at this point unless Milwaukee regress. Now, Milwaukee is going to hit a spot where they're going to lose some games. I mean, this is not sustainable, but they've built themselves a cushion now to lose a few. Even if the Cubs were to lose to a 4-game lead, 4.5-game lead as of right now. Just came from Milwaukee for the Cubs series. Definitely doing some voodoo Joe Boo style over there. Did you see Joe Boo in the dugout? Guff, is it safe to say the management in Chicago is beyond brutal? I'm assuming, Phil, you're talking about all of Chicago, and if so, yes. You guys and Joe Boo, I love Joe Boo. Of all this baseball talk, best series this week will be Padres-Dodgers. We think so. Those are usually good series. At least one bench clearing incident usually as well. Definitely eating whole buckets of chicken over there. Love the Major League references. Seriously, Swayze, it's crazy what Milwaukee's doing. To all my chat brothers, we stink. At least we know where you stand, Godfather. Let's extend Hoyer. Bad move, Tom. Come out of your hole and explain to fans who care. Oh, they absolutely do. Good afternoon, Eric. Putting positive vibes out for you and your family, of course, as always. Becky with her daily Hoyer and Ricketts don't care. Really hope the Cubs convention this year is the Ricketts panel. I doubt they will. They try to steer clear of that now. To stand with Godfather, but use the word stand loosely because I can hardly do that after a Cubs lost. Safety first. Kyle, good afternoon. How many games do the Cubs have to win over their next 14 to get the doubters off their back? I think they have to go like 10-4, Kyle. And I mean, a 10-4 stretch, which is not a crazy, but it'd be good to see like who they do it against. I mean, other than that, 9-5, 8-6, that doesn't do much. It's 9-5 would be good. Probably gain a game, maybe 2, maybe. Ian Happ's birthday, Becky on the birthday watch with Ian Happ. Maybe he's a good guy to go. Maybe a good guy to go yard tonight. Have the bananas on this week. It'll definitely be off the charts for sure. It's therapy time as always. The Cubs suck. A fake Cubs fan, 1980. Josh, probably going to get worse for the Cubs. They'll probably take 2 out of 3 versus Jays, but then the Brewers are going to basically bitch slap them in 4 of the 5. Hard to believe otherwise right now, the way the Brewers are playing. Will the Cubs turn it around? I think the Cubs will get in the playoffs. That's what I can confidently say. I don't know what turn it around means at this point. I think the Cubs, like looking at the Cubs right now, the Cubs best record. This is a 90% confidence. I love that they do these the theorems here on Baseball Reference. They think so. They say the Cubs' best record could be 98-64, worst 87-75. I mean, obviously, that's a big stretch. But right now, the Chicago Cubs, as we record this, I shouldn't say record because we're live. The Cubs they're on pace for 93 wins still. Cubs are on pace for 93 wins. Like, look at this. 93 wins, Cubs suck. Worse for sure. Season is over. Just hope the Cubs can win more than 2 of the next 8. Mad Hat, welcome to the chat. There isn't any time left for it to get worse. These series will determine their season. Unfortunately, there is time. Jimmy says, Cubs schlubs. I'm on to week 1 of the NFL. If Tucker's hurt, put him on the IL. 13 back in a week, says a fake Cubs fan. What's going on, Jim? Everybody's calling it. Everyone's calling the division. You know what we need? We need some therapy together at a Hooters. Hooters.com, or not Hooters, originalhooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you. Order.hooters.com. Get the lunch specials, the OG wings, the boneless wings, the burger. I saw a big billboard yesterday for that $14.99 a pound snow crab legs. Go get those before they're gone. I'm guessing September. They're probably out. The long-legged Long Island iced tea. Say that 10 times fast is $8 all month long. Seems like the perfect drink of the month for a team that can't figure themselves out in the Cubs. You don't like Long Islands? Don't want to take that chance. They're $6 cocktails the rest of the way. And, of course, the Big Daddy mugs, stocked. Dos Equis, Michelob Ultra, Kona Big Wave. Sam Adams Oktoberfest. It's all at Hooters, originalhooters.com, proud partner of the recap and the recap lunch hour. Jimmy, who's our starting left tackle, Declan Doyle said yesterday, only time will tell. The tape will do the talking. It's wide open. Wide open. Josh, probably going to make Godfather, and I'm sorry for doubting you, Cake. Kyle, Little League World Series starts tomorrow, but let's go Clarendon Hills in the World Series. 3 drives would be good. Jimmy's saying, yeah, give me 3 drives from Caleb Williams. I want to know if Tucker is hurt. If not, don't even bother talking about a new contract. Dan, Cub fans are too hyper. Milwaukee's on a historic run. The Mets and Yankees had significant losing streaks. Cubs are playing 500 ball, and we act like the sky is falling. Fair, but the sample size is not great. It's kind of all or nothing right now, the way the Cubs are playing. And it is, I see what you're saying. I'm trying to pull something up here to go into exactly how great and historic the Brewers have been, who are 25-5 their last 30, 16-4 their last 20. They're 20 games over at home. They're 10 games over on the road. Just a really good baseball team, guys. Pretty complete. Averaging 5 runs a game. Really, really good stuff. $115 to park. $80 for that hot dog, nachos, and a beer. Ricketts needs cargo shorts with deeper pockets. Lou! You want to fix the Cubs? Call up Owen Casey. Sit Hap. And his 231 average. Call up Alcantara and let Tucker rest his injured hand. I said this 2 weeks ago? Show me some desperation. Show me some desperation. DFA a guy or two. Bring up some of these kids. Get a spark from somewhere. Maybe it ignites the whole team. Josh, to Dan, it doesn't matter. They're playing really bad right now, and all of us in this chat agreed to be concerned if they didn't do anything at the deadline. And I think that's fair. It's a different team from June 1 to current than it was from April 1 to June 1. No one can debate that. Hope Colson Montgomery should be in the record. 10 home runs his first 32 games. 3rd fastest White Sox ever to do that. Cubs and Sox in 2032, says JV. I feel so much better after the show thanks to Guff and all my chat bros. Godfather, you get us all going. Eli really is asking for Colson Montgomery to be in the Rookie of the Year race. Cubs will collapse again, says the Packers fan. I wonder who he's rooting for. Eli and the White Sox have 6 prospects in the top 100. Yeah, Sox looking good. I'm with Cap. It's about time now. I think you start spending some money in the offseason. I'm not saying big-time deals, but bridge deals to get some free agents into the next wave of contention. 2032 don't want to hear about patience anymore. Win now and win often. Chicago, let's go. $220 million in payroll is not chump change. It's not, but it's how you spend it. Becky saying go Paul Skeens. Isn't Toronto on absolute fire? No one's on fire like the Milwaukee Brewers, but the Toronto Blue Jays, they're 18-12 their last 30. This is what's funny. The Blue Jays are one of the hotter teams in all of baseball. They're the 7th hottest team over their last 30. The Guardians are red hot. The Blue Jays are 18-12 their last 30, 11-9 last 20. So they've kind of fallen back into their ways. You're looking at the rest of the American League. The Guardians, Red Sox, and Mariners are actually better right now in the American League over their last 30 games. So I don't know if they're hot. They're not on absolute fire. Who let a Packer fan in this chat? In dangerous territory. In dangerous territory. JK, welcome to the community. I embrace I want Milwaukee fans in here. I want Packer fans. I want Brewers fans. I want them all. I want Detroit. I want Minnesota. Let's get them all in here. Mike, if we were 6.5 games back with 85 left, it wouldn't be a big deal, but we only have 45 left. Yeah, and that's why this next 8 games is so big. I mean, that 5-game series, you have to take 3 of 5 just to stand pat, just to gain a game. You don't like being in a spot where you have to win 3 of 5, but I mean, someone's got to win the series. You can't go 1-4, 0-5. That's a fact. Yeah, the Andrew Vaughn tour, like Andrew frickin' Vaughn. I'm not saying the guy's not going to get MVP votes in the National League, but there might be some who would argue that. This is what he is with the Milwaukee Brewers. In 26 games, 352, 419, 626, and an OPS of 1045. I mean, 32 hits, okay? He had 35 with the White Sox in 22 fewer games. He has 10 more RBI, 2 more homers. What he's doing right now, it's unconscious. Bird Dog, July 31st, 2025 is the day Tom and Jed pissed away a great season and a chance to get to the World Series. Not the first time we've heard that. And I think maybe the guys were a lot of teams that I've covered kind of showed themselves and just wanted a little reassurance at that time. They wanted a little bump, a little confidence. Didn't get it. And they're all looking around going, okay, I guess this is who we got. It's all fun. Of course, Packers, keep on coming, man. But be ready. If we beat your ass this year, we're coming right back at you. I know. Got 1 win in 10 freaking years. But just be ready. The Child, in 2021, how did you feel about the White Sox chance of advancing through the playoffs? Not good. I can tell you why. That team in the second half, that's a great question. I'm glad you brought it up because I covered that team really well. Okay? I'm going to break down the 2021 White Sox. They were 54-35 at the All-Star break. Very similar to the Cubs. 19 games over 500, rolling, feeling good. Okay? In the second half, they were 39-34. They just kind of July 14-12, August 16-12, September 14-12. Now, they didn't have a losing month, and they scored more. They scored 456 runs in the first half, 340 runs in the second half, albeit 14 or so fewer games, but 116 runs. They just were not the same team going into the playoffs, and they got beaten 4 games. And they had pitching issues, they had injuries. Kind of, I don't know if they remind me. I'd have to look at the stats from that second half of the season in 2021 because I didn't feel great about that team going up against a team in Houston. I did not feel good. And I'm looking at the 2021 team right now. You look at them post All-Star break, the White Sox and runs scored were middle of the pack. They scored 340. They were 14th. They just weren't the same team. Offensively, they hit the ball out of the ballpark a lot more that year, just as a team. They had the White Sox hit 190 homers. They haven't come close to that in years. Godfather, for those that are on the Tucker for his slump, don't play into Ricketts' hands. Letting this guy go would be a mistake. I completely agree. Colson is on fire, 10 homers his first 32 games. I'm glad Caleb didn't play instead of it had an extensive warm-up. Yeah, 70 plays. I'm fine. I'm gonna let the coaches coach here. Luther Burden or Colston Loveland for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Both are juicy bets. They are. I think Colston Loveland was 30-1. The question is, where do you put them on your fantasy teams? Because if you go to recap.fantasy or recap.renegadefantasy.com. You could join our league and you could draft both Luther Burden and Colston Loveland. And if they were to win Rookie of the Year, my guess is that it will play very well into your fantasy team. Play Cap, play me, play against all of us, as we have had a ton of people sign up for our Renegade Fantasy Football League. Folks, the winner of this league, last person standing here, wins $5,000, not fantasy dollars. Talking real cash, $5,000. And the best and coolest thing about Renegade is the first time and first app and only app that you can make in-game substitutions. That's correct. Your receiver has one catch for -1 yards. Make the move. Go get the guy on the bench who had 4 catches on the first drive and put him in your lineup. You can do that at Renegade Fantasy. Don't like the quarterback matchup after quarter number 1? No problem. They're even going to do a redraft in case you have really bit the bullet after the season gets going. It's all at Renegade Fantasy Football, the coolest new way to play fantasy football. It's free. Go to the App Store, download the Renegade Fantasy Football app, join a public league, click the recap, and boom, you're in. That easy. Or go to recap.renegadefantasy.com for your chance to beat Cap's ass, and I guess in essence, beat mine too. But I'll tell you this, good luck. Bring your A game. I think maybe if you get Colston Loveland and he goes off at 30-1 and you beat us, it's a double win for you. Swayze, the only problem I have with Caleb is that quarterbacks who are more polished and flat out better played in the preseason. I would have liked to see him play too. There's 2 more games. Are we going to go around the league and bitch at all the teams that didn't play their starters? I don't think Josh Allen played in week 1. I think Joe Burrow did. He looked great. Jalen Hurts did not. Come on, guys. CB, Caleb looked good. End of the third, fourth quarter when the other team is winning and everything is soft. Caleb was terrible. Caleb had the worst coaching in football. Threw 6 picks. You could say Caleb was terrible all he want. He still had the most total yards in the history of the Bears. Now that could be, don't go, well, it's the Bears. He still did it. He had a coordinator that couldn't even spell coordinator. And the softest head coach in the league. It's fine. I will hold these receipts. I think Caleb's going to be the best quarterback in the history of the Bears. And I want to hold the receipts for all of you who say he's the worst. We'll meet in the middle. Looking forward to the weekend as Premier League football starts. Let's go Chelsea FC. 50-1 on Luther Burden. See, I probably would take that one's juicy to me. That guy's got skills. That guy has got absolute skills. How about the bullpen game from the White Sox last night? I thought that I really liked the matchup for the White Sox or for the Tigers last night. Tigers did get the win. We did not cash. It's still TBD. The Sox have not announced a starter just yet. Feels like the Cubs have no personality, no fire, just like their manager. We've heard that before. It's okay, everyone. The Cubs will muddle along. They might win the series and return home and pound the Pirates. Got to get hot in October, late September. At some point, you do. Guff keeps raiding my closet. Clark Street Sports, guys, get your Bears gear. 10-4. It's got to be the number. It's not just the media. It's everybody. Eric, damn, Guff is drinking on the job. First of all, I've done that before. It's not that fun. Just an unsweet iced tea, Eric. I've drank on the job before. Sometimes you have to. Well, it does get easier, but the problem is, they're a better team than the Cardinals. They lost 2 out of 3. In a wild card matchup, who do you think would be the best team for the Cubs to play? The Mets. I like that. Probably the Mets. I'm trying to think of that's about it. Mets have lost 12 of 13, and the Yankees have lost 8 or 10 in a row. How about the Yankees falling fast? The Yankees are 3-7. They have not lost 10 in a row. They just won their last game, the Yanks. They're 63-56, spiraling. They are in the 3rd wild card spot, though. To your point, Dan. Remember when everyone looked at the schedule and said it was too heavy and they would destroy in the second half? Yep, and here we are, working through lunch. What's up, Clyde? Probably not this year. I thought maybe Noah Schultz, but I don't think Hagen Smith I'd be fine with that if they just came up next year. Got to wrap this thing up here pretty soon. The bet of the day, it's been a slumper. It's been a slump city. And that's okay. I'm going to go unconventional here. You guys are going to laugh your asses off. Look what I'm doing. Paul Skeens is pitching against the Brewers tonight. The Brewers have won 10 games in a row. Okay? Paul Skeens is a strikeout machine. Here's the Brewer. I went through their game logs and looked at the Brewers against starting pitchers in their 10-game win streak. Here are the strikeouts. 3, 5, 2, 2, 6, 3, 0, 6, 2, 3. Now, I know none of those guys were Paul Skeens, who did strike out 8 Brewers at one point this year, also 4 in another matchup. You're taking on a team that's seeing the baseball better than anybody. 32 strikeouts in 10 games against starting pitchers. And I got 6 to play with here. I'm going to take my chances that Paul Skeens hits the under tonight for a team that's seeing the baseball incredibly well. Incredibly well. Eric says Andrew Vaughn wasn't trying on the Sox. I don't think wasn't trying. Baseball says it didn't care before. I think he may have got in his own way. I'm sorry, respectfully saying it the nice way here. I'm not saying he wasn't trying. As of right now, if Craig Counsell can right the ship and get this team to the postseason, trending to be one of the most overrated managers in baseball. Can't get the trade deadline back. Damage is done from doing nothing. This season's over. Bill, still think the Cubs will come through. Cubs will beat the Brewers when it matters in the playoffs. Not caring about these next 5 games doesn't matter. Playoff wins will matter. We'll see. Dan says Vaughn will K twice. Better hope the rest of the guys make contact. Plus 115 is appealing. This is just doing the homework here. Just doing the homework. When you win 5K, guys, that's $6,888 in Canadian dollars. That's awesome. Carlos, welcome to the check. And the Sox tell Jed prospects can play in the majors. Great point. They live by each other. They might as well have the conversation. Really good stuff here on the Recap Lunch Hour on this Tuesday edition, folks. Appreciate you guys as always. Lively. Let's see what happens with the Cubs today. Let's hope we have a better, a good conversation about the Cubs and not, well, it's 8-2. Shouldn't be surprised. The offense is broken. They had 5 singles. Let's hope not. It's all brought to you by Hooters, originalhooters.com. There's 11 Chicago area locations. By the way, the dates are almost set for football season. We can't wait to tell you our next location in our first Bear Show with Alex Brown and Tommy Waddle and Cap. Studio 41, Football Recap Live. Can't wait for that when the season starts. Have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Look out for each other, too, because this group right here does it better than anybody. Have a great rest of your day. It's all brought to you by Hooters. We'll see you on the lunch hour tomorrow. The Recap Lunch Hour with Guff wraps up another edition. Appreciate you.